All right, let's get right into it because the biggest news in the world of science just dropped. We're talking about the Nobel Prize. And this year, it's all about a revolution happening, like, right inside of us.
So, who are the brilliant minds we're celebrating? Well, medicine's highest honor is going to this incredible international team, Mary Brunko and Fred Ramsdell from the US, and Shimon Sakaguchi from Japan. Their work has completely flipped the script on how we see our immune system. It's not just an army anymore. Turns out it also needs peacekeepers. Okay, so the official reason from the Nobel Committee gets right to the point. They're being honored for discovering peripheral immune tolerance. I know, that sounds super technical, right? But what it really boils down to is this. They figured out how our body creates its own internal police force to stop our immune system from attacking our own healthy tissues. So that's the big question, isn't it? What exactly are these regulatory T cells, and why is this discovery such a massive deal? Well, that's what we're going to break down right now, looking at these amazing cells and figuring out why this is a total game changer for medicine. To really grasp why this is so important, we first have to talk about the problem they solved. You see, our immune system is this incredibly powerful army, but what happens when that army turns on you? And this is where that whole soldiers versus peacekeepers idea really clicks. So just imagine your immune system's T cells are split into two teams. You've got the soldiers. These are most of your T cells. And their job is simple. Find the bad guys like viruses and take them out. But then you've got the peacekeepers. These are the regulatory T cells, or TREGs for short. And their whole mission? It's to make sure the soldiers don't go too far. So what happens when the peacekeepers are off duty? Well, that's when things get really bad. That's autoimmunity. It's literally a civil war inside your body. The soldier cells get confused, they can't tell friend from foe, and they just start attacking everything, your own healthy cells. And that leads to these awful chronic diseases. And look, this isn't some rare, abstract thing we're talking about. We're talking about diseases like type 1 diabetes, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis. This friendly fire from our own immune system is the cause of so many conditions that affect millions and millions of people. So how in the world did we find these hidden peacekeepers? I mean, going from not even knowing they existed to winning a Nobel Prize for them, that's quite a story. Let's dig into the discovery. So this whole thing didn't happen overnight. The story really kicks off back in '95. That's when Shimon Sakaguchi found this mysterious group of T cells that could, well, suppress the immune system. At the time, that was a wild idea. Then, fast forward to 2001, Mary Brunko and Fred Ramsdell have that huge aha moment. They pinpoint the one single gene that's the master switch for these cells. And that discovery, that's what leads us all the way to today's Nobel Prize. And that gene, it's called FOXP3. And honestly, it is everything. It's the master switch. Think of it like a single line of code that tells a developing T cell, nope, you're not going to be a soldier. Your job is to be a peacekeeper. It controls the whole shebang. So you gotta ask, right? What happens if that master switch, FOXP3, is broken? Well, the result is a rare and absolutely heartbreaking condition called IPEX syndrome. With a broken FOXP3 gene, the body literally can't make any peacekeepers. The immune system just goes haywire, attacking everything. It's often fatal, and it's the most powerful proof we have that we cannot live without these TREGs. Okay, so we've established that these Tregs are absolutely essential. They're the peacekeepers. But how do they actually do it? What's their strategy for telling a raging immune army to stand down? Well, they have this amazing three-part playbook. First up, they release calming signals. They basically pump out these molecules that just tell all the other worked-up immune cells to take a breath and calm down. Second, they starve the soldiers. See, the soldier T cells need a specific fuel to multiply, and Tregs act like sponges, soaking it all up so the soldiers run out of gas. And third, they get hands-on. They literally go right up to the aggressive cells and use special receptors to tell them, face to face, to stop. Now, this is the really exciting part. This isn't just cool science that's going to stay in a lab. No way. This discovery has kicked off a full-blown revolution in medicine, creating treatments that could actually change lives. And the potential here is just, wow, it's huge. First, for autoimmune diseases, the idea is to boost the number of these peacekeepers to calm the system down. For organ transplants, you can use TREGs to convince the body to accept the new organ instead of attacking it. And then, and this is super interesting, for cancer, you do the opposite.
You actually want to block the peacekeepers. Why? Because tumors are sneaky. They recruit Tregs to protect them from the soldier cells. So if you can block the peacekeepers just for a little while, you unleash the soldiers to go after the cancer. How smart is that? And get this isn't some pie-in-the-sky idea for 20 years from now. It's happening right now. There are already over 25 clinical trials underway with real patients. They're literally taking a person's own Tregs, multiplying them in the lab, and then putting them back in to try and reset that immune balance. It's incredible. So what's the end game here? It's not just about creating another drug you have to take for the rest of your life. The real dream, as this quote points out, is to create what they call immune tolerance. The idea is a short course of treatment that leads to a long-term, maybe even permanent, disease-free life. It's about rebooting the entire system, not just putting a Band-Aid on it. So when you look at this Nobel Prize, it's about more than just one discovery. It really leaves you with this amazing, profound question. Are we on the verge of a new kind of medicine? One where we stop just fighting symptoms with drugs from the outside and instead start teaching our own bodies, our own cells, how to make peace and heal from the inside out? I mean, what could possibly be more game-changing than that?